comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody to the Nerdschatting podcast. My name is Nate, and with me today are my two good friends and co-hosts, JB and Ben. Hello, boys.
Hi. Hi, it's Ben.
You guys okay?
I'm alright. Am I speaking into the microphone enough for you?
I believe so, yeah. We want like lowerable chairs or raisable.
I've just hit the mic already. I've ruined the whole thing.
Professional. I'll cut that out. I won't.
Never fix it in post.
So we are the Nerds Chatting. We talk about all things nerdy, movies, TV shows, comic books.
It's been a while since I've been here.
It has been a while, but your hair is looking beautiful.
No, it needs a cut.
I had to say that because last time
we could do. Oh yeah, we had a really good substitute, didn't we?
Yeah. She was much better than Ben, I'd say, in every way. Yeah.
There's no arguments from me in that at all. No arguments from me.
So today we're going to be talking about a sort of look forward to autumn movies and TV shows. But before that, should we do some broken news?
Broken news.
So this is broken news. It's not breaking news. It's our segment where we talk about news that's... We're not here to give you the news. We're here to give you opinions on the news. So
yes, it's not breaking. It's already broken.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
There's only a few bits on here, but they're of interest, I think. The first one is Joker, the upcoming movie about the Joker.
Yep. Starring...
Heath Ledger?
No.
Oh, right. Sorry, no, my mistake.
Heath Ledger is dead. That's disrespectful.
That's
Joaquin
not disrespectful.
Phoenix.
It's a comment on the fact that Joaquin Phoenix is doing a very similar Heath Ledger thing.
How do you know? Have you seen the film?
From the trailers.
Oh, okay.
Basically, this film won the highest award that you can get at the Venice Film Festival. It was the Golden Lion.
Golden Lion.
Which is... it's interesting for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's a comic book movie.
Yes, it is.
And... secondly, because it's a comic book movie.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that like it's clearly been like full on branded DC.
Yep.
And yet it still managed to sort of rise through the ranks of these awards.
What does this mean, though?
I was going to ask that. I don't even know what it is.
Because I've been hurt before by DC films, okay? I've been hurt before. And I don't want to get my hopes up on this. And you'll see that from what we talk about later on in the topic. But I don't want to get my hopes up. So what has won the Golden Lion before? If only there was some way we could check that out.
I have no idea. But it's basically
have you not done your research on this? You normally do.
Yeah. It's just, it's like the Best Picture in the Oscars. But for the Venice Film Festival.
Right, okay.
Okay, there's a Wikipedia article.
If only we knew, yeah.
I'm gonna look up.
I think the problem with DC movies isn't necessarily the movies. I think it's the media and social media that comes around it. Because I actually think on rewatch, the DC movies are 80% high quality movies.
Bollocks.
80%? How have you come to that number? 50% of all stats are made up on the spot. Yes. But that's only true 60% of the time.
Hang on, there's an Anchorman quote there, isn't
there
is.
Something like that. Yeah. I actually think on rewatch they are very good.
But you've always leaned more towards DC.
Suicide Squad, lame.
Yes.
Okay.
Justice League, actually okay. It is actually okay. It's just not what you wanted it to be. And Batman vs Superman Extended Cut, very, very good movie.
Batman vs Superman Extended Cut is a very good movie.
Man of Steel, great movie.
Yes.
Wonder Woman.
Is that why you're lying today? Because you love that film and then you watch it and pick holes in it.
Oh, no, I watched it recently. I loved it. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Wonder Woman, great movie.
Yes, agreed.
Aquaman, good fun.
I watched that for the first time last weekend, and it's ridiculous, but there's some incredible action in it, and I enjoyed it.
Shazam, great movie.
Haven't seen it yet. I will get to it at some point.
What have I missed?
Something, but I don't know what.
Lots. That's probably lots.
No, I don't think there is.
Solid
no,
movies.
I think that's it, yeah.
See, it's the people around it going, oh, they're not as good as Marvel, and comparing the two. And, I think it's quite right to get angry at... You got angry the other day at people comparing them. It's like, just let them be their own thing.
That's because Bingham sent me a clickbait headline that I was upset with. That's why. And I was in the wrong frame of mind at the time when I
went fishing. I got myself a big bite.
You did. You reeled it in.
Fishing and I bit. Do you want to know what's won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Awards in the last 3 years?
Give us 5 years. Give us a good...
Okay.
If you can.
So in 2018, it was Roma from Alfonso
Oh, I
Cuarón.
hear that's amazing.
I've not seen it,
No,
but I hear it's very, very good. Before that, it was The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro.
One Oscar.
That's good.
Very good. Yeah,
That's good.
Now this is why I said only 3 years, because now we're getting into the realms of stuff that is completely outside of our ballpark. In 2016, it was The Woman Who Left.
Not seen it.
By Lav Diaz.
Oh right, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Sure, yeah. 2015, it was From Afar by Lorenzo Vigas.
Stop there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because don't know any of those films.
No.
But listen, just from The Shape of Water and Roma, those films were critically well received, and they had a huge box office taking. I don't know that for definite, but I know they did well with not just the critics, but also with the film viewers, the Joe public alike. So maybe that's really good then for Joker, but I'm not getting myself too excited yet because I've been hurt before.
Yeah, I think the movie. I mean, you guys, we've talked about the trailers for this. I think it looks like a really solid, well-made, well-acted, well-produced movie. Just everything about it looks really good. I just am not bothered. Is that okay?
Yeah, but you say this about a lot of things, and then all of a sudden it's like you'll come back, I don't know, months later and go, the DC movies, they're not really that bad.
He makes a fair point.
I think my concern is that it's more of an Elseworld DC movie than anything that they've done before.
Sure. Is it, though?
Well, apparently it is, and from they're giving a backstory to Joker, who is the best portrayal that we've seen of him is when you didn't know his backstory. Yes. So I know this is going to be different because there's not going to be a Batman running around, or so we're led to believe. Mm-hmm. Even though that Thomas Wayne is going to be in it. Mm-hmm. If Joker kills Thomas Wayne, by the way, making Bruce Wayne become the Batman.
Yeah.
Didn't we see that in Batman '89?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
But listen, I'm quietly confident, but I still have some concerns.
Okay.
But this is good news that it's won this award. It obviously it's captured the imagination of some of the critics. Well done to Todd Phillips, who's in the past has been known as a comedy director of sort of comedic films. So well done to him. He's obviously this is like his he's put a stamp down. This is what I can do now.
Yeah.
So good on him. Yeah. We'll see.
Are you interested, James?
Well, I'm so interested. I don't like to jump ahead, but this is one of my.
Oh, spoilers for one of your 3 that you're looking
Put
forward
that
to.
back in your box, you filthy boy.
Move on to the news story.
Later on.
We'll move on to the next news story. So I've got 2 Spider-Man news stories for you. So there's been a lot in the media recently about Sony and Marvel separating, going their separate ways with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
I've yet to voice my opinion on this on the podcast, by the way.
Oh, we're not interested.
Yeah, no one cares.
Okay, good. You go ahead.
The sort of the news story that was this week was just that the CEO of Sony Pictures, I've forgotten his name. Tony Vinciquerra.
Easy for you to say.
He's basically said, look, we've got a lot we can do with Spider-Man, and we're very happy with what we're doing. He was doing fine before the event movies. He did even better with the event movies, and now we have our own universe. He will play off other characters well. I think we're pretty capable of doing what we have done. I think we're pretty capable of doing what we have to do here. That's almost a direct quote from him.
Okay.
Which is interesting because it's like, okay, you've got Spider-Verse, you've got Venom. They were both respectively critically well received and then consumer well received. I don't, but the opposite way around, maybe? No, I don't know. Spider-Verse was amazing.
Spider-Verse was amazing. And Venom is hogwash, but whatever.
Have you seen Venom?
I have seen it now, yeah.
Oh.
The one good thing about Venom, the 2 good things about Venom is they get his size right, and I love it when Venom is talking to Eddie Brock, because that's just what you would expect it to be. There is an inner voice talking to him, telling him to do things, and that's good. The rest of it, I could take or leave.
So I think what he's saying is basically we've got Spider-Verse, and because of Spider-Verse, we can do loads with these characters, and we're more than happy to do something really good with our characters, which is great, and it's like, okay, fine, cool, you're kind of making a stamp and you're making a statement, like, yes, we're going to carry on doing it, and we know we've still got Tom Holland is still playing Peter Parker, etc., etc. Fine. If that was just
they're going to build up their Sinister Six, fine, that's okay.
But if that was the news story, that would be pretty fine. But then there's an update to that news
What?
story.
Oh,
Did you
here we
guys
go.
know?
Another update?
So, comicbookmovie.com have had a anonymous source who they have had trusted information from in the past. So this is the same source that's told them that Marvel were developing a She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel show before they were officially
Was it
announced.
Dr. Octopus? Was that the source?
No. They say, this source says, that the two parties, Sony and Disney, are still talking, and the current deal is for Disney to get 30% of Spider-Man. However, the agreement says that the MCU has to take on Venom. Dum dum dum.
Do you know what? The entire news story about Spider-Man being out of the MCU, every single bit of it is a negotiating tactic.
Yeah, it's like what do people think?
Everything.
It's what do people think?
Right, let's release this as it stands right now after that last meeting that we had where they went, okay, the door's closed, and see what people's fan reaction is. The fan reaction went bonkers. The internet broke. Tom Holland unfollowed people on Instagram.
Yep.
Everyone picked up on that. So the whole thing is a negotiating tactic. This isn't over. If it's now, it's Marvel get 30% of Spider-Man movies, but they've got to incorporate Venom and probably Sony get 30% of whatever they make on those. It would not surprise me at all. Leave it to Kevin Feige. He'll fix it. He'll fix it.
Yeah.
He'll fix
Well,
it.
I think part of the original story was that Feige couldn't really be involved that much anymore in the Spider-Man movies because he's got so much with Phase 4 going on that overseeing it all. Whereas before he was obviously quite closely linked to each of the movies. He's quite.
Yeah. They got to
Quite
get the
strong
X-Men.
influence.
They got to get the X-Men in. They got to get Fantastic Four. They've got to get Namor probably or whatever.
Blade and what have you.
Blade,
Yeah.
and they've got all these other shows and all these bits and pieces and Disney Plus and yada yada yada. Yeah, I get it, fine. But do these studios not want to make money?
Apparently not.
Come on.
No, I know.
Come on.
I know. I think it's just really interesting how we as audiences in this case have sort of toed and froed on who's the little guy and who's really losing out. It's
Who doesn't love a drama?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's all about
but
the drama.
And you're right. But we're projecting onto Disney and onto Sony like the good guy and the bad guy. They're massive, multi-billionaire, dollar companies.
Yeah,
both
but we need to
of
put
them.
it into perspective so that we can then agree or disagree with others.
Exactly.
It's like your brother's fighting or your sister's fighting.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Whose side are you going to take?
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Personally,
I thought you were going to go Love Island with that.
No,
the brothers.
I didn't.
Personally, I think
Do love Love
Disney will see this as a black eye if they don't get something out of it. So if they don't get Spider-Man back on the table, back in the MCU, they'll consider it as actually, we've probably dropped the ball a bit on this one and we might have let our fans down and they don't like doing that. So it's not over. That's my final statement.
Do you want the next news story?
Please.
That's the first bit of Hayley news story.
Ah, very good.
Okay.
Hayley Attwell has joined the next Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible 7, or whatever it will be called. And we know this because Christopher McQuarrie, who is involved still,
Yes, directing, I believe, and writing.
Instagrammed a picture of Hayley Attwell. Hayley Attwell, obviously, of Captain America fame.
Did he literally just post a picture of her, or did he post a picture of her and say, "I welcome Hayley Attwell to MI7"?
It says, at Well Hayley, should you choose to accept... ...
Oh, that's nice because he's used the Mission Impossible thing.
Yeah, it's
God, I bet someone's paid a shed load of money to do that.
I still haven't seen MI6, which I hear is brilliant.
Such a good film.
Yeah.
Haven't you?
Yeah, no, I
Have
haven't.
I seen it? We went and saw it in
went
the
to see it
cinema.
together,
It
Jamie.
was awesome.
Yeah, everything says yes, it's great, and I really want to see it because I really enjoy all the Mission
It's
Impossible movies.
a non-stop action thrill ride.
Yep.
It's
You'll
awesome.
love it.
And I like McQuarrie movies, so I can't
Yeah.
see why I wouldn't like it. But yeah, Hayley Attwell.
Hayley Attwell. She's a goddess. She's a fantastic actress. Great. She will not be a love interest for Tom Cruise because he's not allowed to have a love interest.
Well, I quite like the idea that it's saying, should you choose to accept, that she might be the new team leader. And that Tom
Or-
Cruise would take on the Jim Phelps role.
Or the new bad guy?
No, I want her to be the new team leader.
What if Tom Cruise is the bad guy and she becomes a new team leader because he's the bad guy?
That will
You
never
can't-
happen.
You can't have it. He's
Tom
too
Cruise can't be bad, can
His
he?
ego
He
would
can't-
not
he
allow
can't- He can't do a heel turn. No, he's got to be the good guy.
Well, that's not technically true. He's quite a good bad guy in the Jamie Foxx movie. What was that one?
Collateral.
Collateral.
Yeah, they was really good.
That
at
was made in 2004. 5?
I don't care when it was made. He's still a
This
good
is
bad
14
guy.
years later. And Tom Cruise is
True, yeah.
Mr. Hero. Okay, do you know what? I'll watch it because the last one was the last few have been so good. I'll watch it.
Well, I love 1, but having rewatched it in recent years, it is slow, but it was great in its time. 2 is just bonkers nonsense, like it for what it is, but it's not. It's not great.
Flying in the air.
It was John Woo, isn't it?
Yes. Pigeons, slow mo.
But then J.
Awful.
Abrams brought it back on 3, didn't he?
Yes.
And
Abrams saved Mission Impossible.
Yeah. So good. Mission Impossible.
I'll check that out.
Haley news number 2. Haley Steinfeld is going to be playing Kate Bishop in Marvel's Hawkeye.
Now, again, is or is rumoured?
Yes.
Yes.
I think she probably was like, it was like, do you want to sign this? Yes, let's just put it out to social media and see what people think. And everyone's like, yes, please.
Well, from the comic book interpretation of that character, there is more than a passing resemblance between artwork that has been drawn and the actual living person that is Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would make sense. It would be fine. She could carry on the Hawkeye mantle for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, for context, apparently the Hawkeye TV show is going to be about Clint Barton, which is played by Jeremy Renner, teaching and training a character called Kate Bishop to become the new Hawkeye. And that's it.
Isn't it based on the Matt Fraction Hawkeye My Life as a Weapon book?
I think so, yeah.
I think there's some links, but I'm not sure.
Okay, fine. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. Apparently I've not read it, but apparently that book is great and everyone should read it. I'll get to it.
Haley Steinfeld's got some nerd cred, hasn't she? Because she was in. I mean, she's a fantastic actress. Anyway, she was in True Grit in one of her early roles. Did you guys see that?
No, it's the Coen Brothers remake, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah,
and
I've not seen it.
it is excellent. It's very, very good, and she's good in it. But she was in Bumblebee, wasn't she? It's the Transformers movie, and she was in something else nerdy. I think.
She was in a movie that I saw the trailer for and loved, and I just still haven't caught it yet for whatever reason. It's a couple of years ago. I think it's called Edge of 17.
Oh yes, yeah, that
with
looks
Woody
great.
Harrelson,
Yes.
where she's like a awkward teenager about to finish high school or something, and she wants to live a bit of a life that she hasn't led, or I don't know.
Well, she was in Spider-Verse as well. She plays Gwen Stacy in that.
Of course she was. Yes.
And she was in Pitch Perfect 3, so she's done some comedy, some fun stuff.
She's got acting chops.
Yes. Yeah, Pitch Perfect 2 as well.
That's a phrase.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is a phrase.
Has he just swallowed something? Yeah. I can feel like that.
So that's all good news. We're very happy about that. It's very,
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, it's just when are we going to get any of these shows?
Well...
Legally. That's what I mean.
No, not in the UK. No. Not for a while.
Not until next year, apparently, due to some kind of rights wrangling with Sky.
And when does the rest of the world get it?
November. That's well, Disney Plus is released in November, and it's opening with The Mandalorian, and other shows are being released as and when.
Okay.
But yeah.
I blame this on Brexit. That's why we're not getting it.
Oh my gosh.
The simple line is that if Disney don't give it to the whole world at the same time, they have to expect that people will steal the shows that they put on.
I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't do it. I know.
Of course,
someone,
I know
some
people that would, and they'd get me copies. So
Yeah, that's
all I
right.
need.
Nate. Oh, sorry. I got
That's
something
me.
stuck
Is
in my
everything all right,
throat.
James? You said my
No,
name.
no,
Is
no.
everything
I
okay?
just a cough.
Did you need something from me?
No, I'm fine.
No, okay.
I'm fine at the moment.
Yeah, I'll have the Mandalorian, please.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Yeah, I'll get my guy. Right, last bit of news, and it's kind of like news we kind of expected, but it's just a bit of confirmation. We know that there's some Game of Thrones prequel shows in the works, but they have confirmed now that one of the shows in the works is a prequel for the Targaryen family, which will tell the story of the Targaryens from 300 years ago, leading all the way up to the Dance of Dragons, the fall of the Targaryen.
That's very interesting. Do you know what that would be like? That would be like the Netflix, what's it called? The Crown?
Oh, yeah.
You know, where they had an actress play the Queen for 2 seasons,
yes,
and then they swap everyone out and age them 20 years.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll do that. So they'll do the rise of Aegon Targaryen when he conquered Westeros.
Yep.
That'll be one season. The next season will be
his children,
or his great grandson, or his great grandson, or something like that. And it'll be because in the coffee table book, The World of Ice and Fire, there's a whole load of stuff on the Targaryens.
Yes,
and there's a whole load of lineage going through hundreds of years. But then George R. R. Martin's released the first book. Is it Fire and Blood? and it's all about the first half of the dynasty of the Targaryens.
Yeah, I think that's
so. It'll probably
a lot of that's
lift
copy
it
and
straight from that.
Yeah, I think it's copy and paste from the coffee table book, isn't it?
So that show is going to be based on the writings of George R. R. Martin
Absolutely.
that is in a current book.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask, actually, because towards the end of Game of Thrones, they obviously didn't have...
They went off book.
They went off book. They didn't say by book, they went off book.
But again, this is good. However, only one half of that has been written. The other half, George hasn't released yet.
But
Sorry, I was going to say, are these prequels going to be just like one-offs rather than multiple seasons
I think
gubbins?
I think they're going to go for it.
Not like four... Is it mini episodes? Or do you have when sometimes you can just have 4 episodes?
You mean like a mini series?
That's what I'm thinking of. A mini series.
But I don't know.
Like 4-hour-long episodes.
Would that be better?
I agree. It probably would be in terms of quality and feeling like there's a completeness to the story.
Yeah.
But money. So
I love money. Money makes the world go round.
Well, they know that Game of Thrones is popular with people. They know people will watch it. That part of the reason that I love Game of Thrones or the world of Ice and Fire so much is the rich history interwoven through everything. There's so much there that you just pick that up, pick any small part of that up and develop it. You've got an incredible show.
See, I 100% agree with you. That is wonderful, and it feels lovely having that in the show. The thing we've talked about before with season 8, is that the last season?
Yes.
Yes. Where it felt rushed. It only felt rushed, I think, because the previous seasons felt like they took their time over the characters. Mm-hmm. I think if you just watch season 8, it actually is quite solid, quite great action, and actually it still has that rich history in it. Mm. And that's what I was going to say to you, James, about the writings of this. It is George R. R. Martin's plot, but it isn't fleshed out in the way that his characters are in the book, in the other books.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it will be... I think everyone will love it.
Yeah.
But I think it will be a very different beast to Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that's the end of the news, the broken news.
Nerd Scene.
So this is Nerd Scene.
Yeah.
This is a section we call Nerd Scene. Now, James, I don't know if I've explained this to you before.
Mm-hmm.
So the way this is spelled, the way this is spelled is nerd, like you would spell nerd. N-E-R-D, and then scene. The way I've spelt it on the page is S-C-E-N-E, which is like it's like a sort of a section of a show or a play. Like a period between 2 scenes where some plot happens.
Yeah.
Right, but it's also a play on the word scene, as in to have watched. S-E-E-N.
Right.
So in this section, we talk about things that we've watched that are nerdy. Nerd scene. Do you get it?
I do. Move on.
No.
Okay.
Ben, what's wrong with you? I just turn out sometimes. I just don't understand things, okay?
I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, don't talk about it too much because I want to watch it. It's meant to be mental. It's meant to be mental. That's what I'm saying. That means it's a good thing.
It's my favourite of the Tarantino movies.
Well, which means nothing based on what he said at the start of the
he
show.
hates everything.
What's the point of that? Brilliant. Oh yeah, they like something, so everyone's going to hate it.
It's not true. I don't hate everything of his. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, fine.
We were supposed to watch and review this, but we just never got around to it, did we?
Yeah.
Well, we never got invited, Ben. This has got really awkward on.
That's true, actually, JB. We didn't.
Untrue. You did get invited.
I was on bloody holiday.
It's why I invited you.
In the sunny island of Mallorca. Not in the villa. Love Island Villa. But I was there.
Yeah.
I was probably getting a haircut. It's fine.
You were. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Is there
do you want me to tell you anything?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't want any spoilers. Well, what is it, though? What do you want to say?
So, the main story is great, and there is a background story going on that it might be helpful for viewers to have some knowledge of, which is a real-world event.
Which is the Manson murders.
It is the Manson murders. Right. Well, it's the Sharon Tate murders.
Okay.
By the Manson family.
Sure, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so knowing about the Manson family and the Sharon Tate murders will assist you in enjoying this movie.
Oh, okay.
Luckily,
did you know that beforehand?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Luckily, I've listened to a podcast all about the Manson family murders of...
I'm aware of the Manson family. I'm aware of Polanski and things that went on around him, but I hadn't really sort of put it all together. And then at the end of the movie, I was like, right, I see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are we going to go and watch this? Is it still in the big screens?
If it is, I'm happy to.
I recommend you watch it, and then we could do a proper
How many hours
review.
is it?
It's quite long.
2.5 probably.
Okay, including trailers?
About 3.5 probably.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
It's well worth it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good.
Do you want to do one of yours?
No, you go right ahead.
Okay. So I also went to the. I thought it was called #mystery movie, but I think it might be #surprise movie. Either way, a movie I didn't know what it was. I went to the pitch house, and you basically say, "Here's £5. Show me a film, please." And they go, "Okay, go sit down." And you literally don't know what it is until it starts.
Now tell people what you were worried it was going to be.
Okay, so I thought because they told you they say it's going to be a film that hasn't come out yet that's coming soon.
Right.
So looking at all the releases, I'm like, this is going to be Downton Abbey. Like I was praying it was going to be Ad Astra, and I swear we did discuss if Downton Abbey starts, do we just stand up and walk out? Like, are we that fussed?
Are you a monster? Because I love Downton Abbey.
Yeah, but I didn't watch the last 2 series of it, so what was the point?
Well, then you're a monster.
Okay.
No, you're not, because I've never seen any of Downton Abbey.
I liked the first couple of seasons.
I think
it's
it's
Downton Abbey's so lovely.
Anyway, it wasn't either of them.
quintessentially British. Is that
yes,
what it is,
exactly
darling?
right.
Yes,
It wasn't
darling.
either of those movies.
What was it?
It was a film called The Farewell, which is a Chinese-American movie starring Awkwafina.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. Absolutely wonderful little film. It's about, the premise of the story is about an American-Chinese girl who talks to her grandma all the time. This is her grandma is Chinese, lives in China. And there's a very common thing in Chinese culture where they will not tell a member of their family if that member of family is terminally ill.
All right.
They
keep
won't
it
tell
from
them that.
The whole family will keep it from them. In fact, doctors will be in on it and will say, if they go into the hospital, they'll say, "Oh no, you just had a cold. Looks like you're going to be fine. I'll give you some antibiotics and you should be picking up soon." When actually that person is going to die in a month. They just don't tell them. They believe that it causes more pain than is needed.
And that's part of Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that is... Do you know what? I love films that reveal a part of a society's culture that you don't know about. And that is incredible to me.
I mean, I don't know how prevalent it is, but in the interviews I've seen with Awkwafina since then, she does say that this is something that happens and it's real. I don't know if every family does it, but it's kind of like a tradition, if you like. And the film is about this sort of youngish girl, woman, dealing with the farewell with her grandmother.
But she doesn't know it's the farewell.
But she doesn't know, so having to keep it from her. I'm not spoiling anything because this is early on in the film. They have a ruse where the main character's cousin has been dating a girl for like 3 months, and they decide they're going to get married. So they go to China so that all the family can get together for this wedding. Mm-hmm. But it's like, well, they've only known each other 3 months. Like, did he knock her up or something? Like that was a joke in the movie. So there's this.
Okay.
All the family comes together, and you see all these different sort of people having to interact with each other that may or may not get on, just like families do, but all centered around this.
Plus,
grandmother.
they've got to keep their emotions in check.
Yeah.
Because they're not supposed to reveal it to the person who is actually terminally ill.
Yes.
Oh, this movie is going to make me cry.
It is also based on a true story.
I'm definitely going to cry.
Yeah. Did it make anyone cry that you were in the theatre?
Not that I saw, but I mean, it really was good.
Did at any time during the film did it make your heart beat?
Once or twice.
Oh my God!
My cold, dead, black heart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 90% subtitled, some American stuff in there, but I recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's called The Farewell. It's really good.
Cool.
Shall I finish off?
You may as well just finish off.
Okay. I have decided that I'm going to the Birmingham MCM Comic Con and I'm going to do some cosplay. So in preparation for that, I reread all 28 issues of Jonathan Hickman's Secret Warriors because it's one of my favourite runs on comics and I forgot how much I loved it. And having reread it, I realised I really love it. So I'm going to be cosplaying as Nick Fury.
I can't wait to get a photo of that.
Yep.
Okay. Just please explain to people that you are not
I'm comic book Nick Fury.
Comic book
not
Nick
movie
Fury,
Nick Fury.
original Nick Fury.
I'm not going to black up, okay?
Just, yeah.
Because that...
Oh, that's a good point.
That is racist.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So I'm just... Just setting expectations that people aren't going to stop listening at this point going, oh wow, this guy's a real raging racist because he's going to blackface up for Nick Fury.
Said, because I didn't think of that.
In defence of the Nick Fury character, he has been the Nick Fury I will be cosplaying as for a lot longer
40 or 50 years
than the modern day Nick Fury.
Than Sam Jackson Nick Fury, right, okay, yeah, good.
So it's not like I'm being disrespectful to any camp.
No, it's fine. I'm looking forward to seeing those pictures.
Thank you. And finally, I went to the cinema last night and saw a live, a live broadcast of a National Theatre show of Fleabag, the one-woman show starring Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it was bloody brilliant.
Awesome.
Not seen any of Fleabag. I need to get on that.
Me neither.
If people don't know, Fleabag started out as a stage show, written and starring Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and then because of its popularity, she was given the opportunity to write a TV show. She did one season on the BBC, which is an embellishment of the one-woman show, and then that was really successful. And then she did the second series, and that is where it's going to end. And personally, I think the second series is better, it's richer, but. Last night's show was fantastic. She didn't miss a beat at all. She was very funny. It was different enough from the TV show that I recognised some of the jokes, but then some of it tripped me up along the way, and it kept me thinking. And really good.
So will they make that into a Christmas special? Do you think?
I don't know. Maybe. But so last night's was a live broadcast.
Yeah.
But they are re-showing it in cinemas across the nation. That recording of last night. So you can still watch it.
Maybe I will.
That's the last of my nerd scene. That's all I've been watching and reading. Oh, that's not true. I started reading She-Hulk, and it was great.
Oh, good.
Loved it.
I'm going to go next.
I think so. Yeah, why not?
You not got anything to...
I've got loads of things.
Okay.
But I just thought, I want you to talk about the first thing that you said, because I've heard that this is meant to be brilliant.
My nerd scene, Mindhunter, Season 2. It's... I think the showrunner is that guy who directed Zodiac and Seven and Alien 3.
Oh,
David Fincher.
David Fincher, yeah.
He directed the first 3 episodes. It's brilliant. It's so good. The focus of this season is Jesus Christ, why is my brain working today?
Brilliant. I love it. That's my favourite thing.
City made up of trees in the south.
Georgia? You mean Atlanta?
Atlanta. It's
okay,
the Atlanta child murders. That's
what
it is.
Okay.
That is the premise of season 2. That's the main focus.
So
they go and seek different. The premise of the show is it's the FBI developing their criminal profiling of serial killers, basically. But they firstly use the term serial killers in this season, I think. And it's like they go and speak to them, so they try and find out, why they do what they do, if they ever revisit crime scenes, that sort of thing. And the Atlanta child murders is like their first run at being officially invited to come and try and profile who this guy is and help catch him. And they do. And it's brilliant. Yeah. It's so good.
How many episodes is it?
9.
Because someone's told me about this, and I've kind of this is right up my street. I just want to say, I know we're going to be talking about the things that we want, the top 3 things that we most want to watch. There is loads of good stuff on TV.
Oh yes,
really. And when I mean TV, I mean across,
all platforms.
All platforms. It's just absolutely immense.
It is, and this show is it's not. You don't really ever see anything violent happen,
right?
But it talks about violent things. It's super creepy. There are people who are portraying real life serial killers. There's a guy playing Ed Kemper. There's a guy playing David Berkowitz, who's the son of Sam. There's the same guy who stars in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as Charles Manson. Is Charles Manson in season 2 of Mindhunter?
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Sort of
that's
set
nice.
20 years later, or 10 years later.
That's cool, isn't it?
Honestly, it's so good. It's the sort of late, autumn, winter. It's getting dark. Put this show on. Huddle up, some popcorn, some drinks, underneath a duvet. You'll have a great time.
Can I just say, I'd love to have a date with you, because that sounds amazing.
Let's do it. Second off, I finally watched season 2 of American Crime Story, which is the assassination of Gianni Versace. My God, so good. We finished it last night. And I love the way that it plays with the timeline of Andrew Cunanan as the guy who actually killed Versace's life.
So good.
So it starts off with the murder, and then it sort of goes back a month, then it sort of goes back a year, then it goes back another year, then it goes back to... It's just... The whole thing is done in reverse. I think if it was played out like it started with him as a kid, and then he got a bit older and this happened, then he got a bit older and this happened, and then ended with the murder of Versace, it would have been junk. It would have been like, well, what was all that?
Oh, I don't know. I think it just... I think
I
you're right.
don't think it would have been as appealing
Agree.
as it was with the mixed narrative.
I think
or the mixed linear
the jumping around gives you an insight into his mind, because he's jumping from those periods in his mind. Like, that's a feature of his mind, and that's a feature of his mind, and everything else he kind of just forgets and like, oh, that's not important.
Is this on Netflix?
It was on
It's on
HBO.
BBC Two.
Oh, get it on Bob.
It might be
Get on
on.
Bob, yeah. Box of Broadcast, yeah. There you go.
It might be on the iPlayer.
Okay,
Or it'll be available somewhere.
fine.
But it's really, really good. Again, that's only 9 episodes as well. And then finally, last but not least, I've got loads of comic stuff. I'm not going to go into it because I've been reading loads and loads of things. But because El Camino is coming out next month, which is a follow-up to the Breaking Bad TV show.
Yeah.
Finding out what happened to Jesse Pinkman, I've started rewatching Breaking Bad, and I'd forgotten how good it is.
Rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, you just spoiled the end of Breaking Bad.
Did I?
Yeah.
I mean, I've spoiled a show that's been completed for 6 years.
You should have done hashtag spoilers.
yeah.
You always do that.
Sorry. Hashtag spoilers. Nate, could you cut that in and put it in the...
Yeah, sure. I'll cut that for you and put it in before. Yeah.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to.
Good.
And B, I don't really care. I'm sorry, Ben.
No, listen. Breaking Bad's not for everyone. There's some real gruesome stuff that happens in like the second episode, and if that puts you off, probably don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, but that's not what put me off.
No,
I just got bored in season 2.
It's crap.
Oh, I don't know if it's crap, but I got bored.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I can't understand though, JB, that you could watch that entire show and say it was crap.
Yeah.
I don't think that you were paying attention when you were watching it.
Rubbish.
I think 6 years later, you're a much more mature guy now. You don't have the mullet anymore. Right. I reckon you should watch that again.
I didn't watch it when it first came out. I binge watched it as I do with any TV show that I can get my greasy mitts on.
Okay.
And even so, it was. I think I was doing 2 shows a night, and it was just I was chewing through it again.
You are so good at chewing through shows. Like
No,
Dead.
but I chew through it, and then I'm kind of like, am I enjoying this? But because everyone says it's great, I'm like, come on, maybe I'm going to give it a try because lots of people. I just didn't like it.
I love that. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, maybe it is me. But
I
I've
take
got
it to
great
social
taste.
media.
Look at my friends.
One
of my friends.
Take it to social
Points at
media,
Ben.
and I want people to tweet us. Tweet at nerdschatting on Twitter. Breaking Bad is, and then good or bad. That's what I want to know.
Breaking Bad is good
or good. Is it good? Tweet that, or is it bad?
Okay.
That's all I want.
So I want Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad bad or Breaking Bad good. Whatever. Just tweet us something. That's good. JB, what are you doing for Nerd Scene?
So what am I watching at the moment? I am watching the second series of Succession, which is I think it's brilliant, and it's something that my wife and I are watching together because she really enjoys it as well. It's got Brian Cox in.
I love Brian Cox, such a great actor.
Well, so he plays the character of Logan Roy, who's the head of this family. He's built his business up from nothing, and he's a billion, trillion, million, trillion.
Ooh, that's the loudest siren.
That's how rich he is.
Yes.
When I'm talking
You can
about
say his
him,
name, the police car.
he puts on a siren
Yeah.
to say how. If I say it again, he's really rich.
No,
the siren didn't come on this time.
So basically, this guy's Rupert Murdoch, and his news corporation is Fox News, right? Pretty much.
There would be a line that you could draw, a dotted line to that.
Okay.
But he's the head of the family. He's got 2 sons and a daughter, and they just fight with each other. They're all trying to get in the pecking order. I mean, there's comedy elements in it. He puts them down. It's just going through it. And for me, this season is even better than the first.
Cool.
So this season's the premise is that basically he's got a media company, but it's kind of old world. It's not digital in any shape or form.
Right.
So all these digital startup companies are beginning to make inroads. Normally he could just buy them out, but this isn't happening.
Right.
And so I don't want to say too much more about it.
No,
but
it sounds
I
really
would so go just try and get in there. It's not that many episodes. It is 15, 2 seasons.
Oh, nice.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's really good.
I do see it advertised quite a bit, and it's something that I think I would probably like. But I want them to build up a couple of seasons, and then I'll binge watch it.
It's got
It's got a Culkin in it. Kieran
Oh, really?
Culkin, not Macaulay, but yeah.
It sounds a little bit like a modern Godfather. It's got like Kelsey Grammer did a show called Boss not long ago. It sounded a little bit like that. And what was the Costner one that I started watching? It was
The cowboy one.
Yes.
That came into my head just a minute ago as well.
What was that called?
I don't know. You watched it. I never
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
stopped because I went on holiday and then didn't watch it when I come back. And I keep saying I really want to watch that.
So I'm going to narrow it down by Google searching Kevin Costner cowboy. That won't return the results.
No, Dances with Wolves, Open Range. Well, I can't remember all them, but not his TV show. Yellowstone. It was very similar. Sounds similar sort of premise.
Yeah.
Like there's a patriarch leader
Yeah.
and then the family. But Brian Cox, I can't.
Yeah,
imagine
I
it's
mean,
bad
he
at all.
is outstanding. Every time he comes on screen, you know that someone is going to get verbally abused.
Nice.
And you would just be like, wow, if he wasn't the boss and he was paying me a lot of money, I wouldn't take this.
No.
But it's fantastic. The other awesome thing that I'm watching is I'm now season 4 of Gomorrah.
Oh, you've said about Gomorrah lots of times.
I'm not gonna say any more about it. I'm just gonna drop it. It's like almost like a mic drop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
One day I will mainline that. I will sit down and mainline it.
And do you know what? It would be epic if
Yep.
you did it that way.
Yep.
Because, the timelines just follow so nicely. Even between the seasons, it doesn't break too much. There is a bit of jumping around in this season, kind of. I think there's a first episode, whatever happened, I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah.
And then there was like a 2-year leap.
Right, okay.
And you just the characters are fantastic. The Italian actors it's just awesome. The scenes are mental. I want to go to Italy and just look at all the places they film because it's beautiful.
It's Italian language, isn't it?
Yes,
Subtitles in
yeah.
English,
I mean, it's basically
Is it set in Naples?
Yes, it's based on a book written by I can say his first name quite easily, Roberto Savino, Savia. Sorry, I'll say it properly.
Yeah.
Saviano. Savino?
Yeah.
Savino?
Yes.
Anyway, awesome. And for a little bit lightheartedness, I'm currently watching MasterChef Australia again.
Oh, yes.
Love it, brilliant. But big news this year is that the current judges have left the series.
What?
Yes.
What, the guys with all the fancy suits?
Toad, as I like to call him,
Yeah.
Matt Preston. He's just a giant. But he wears like really flamboyant cravats and things like this. But basically, what's happened is one of the presenters, they're all chefs. Matt Preston's a food critic. But George Calumbrius, he's Greek. There's some sort of scandal going on with his restaurants. I think he might have been underpaying people.
Oh.
I'm surmising a little bit.
We had that in the UK. Wasn't Michel Roux Jr. got in trouble for that sort of thing, didn't he? Yeah.
So he's been I think he's been underpaying people. And basically they said, well, we're not going to renew your contract. The other two went, well, if you drop him, we're all going. And the owners went, fine, see you later.
Oh no!
So they've all gone,
right? Okay.
And so we're now looking for new presenters.
Oh, okay.
But there we go. But it's a bit of
You
light-hearted
going to apply,
fun.
Jamie?
Pardon?
You going to apply?
I don't think so because I'm not called Jamie, and I know nothing about food.
I said JB.
JB. I thought you said Jamie.
I think you said Jamie.
I said you're going to apply, JB.
Oh, I apologise for this being rude. No one calls me Jamie.
No one puts
Jamie in the corner. Okay.
I genuinely didn't call you Jamie.
Well, there was two
Play the
things.
goddamn tape back.
Yeah.
We've
As an
got a
aside,
recording of this? Yeah, we got a recording.
as an aside, started watching Bake Off as well. Bake Off.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching a little bit of Bake Off. It was
awesome.
bread week last week.
Yeah.
That's some amazing bread.
It's so painful when you've just eaten dinner and you're trying to eat better. And
Do you know? Can I just tell you what the trick is?
yeah,
Eat while it's on.
yeah. But it's like an hour show.
You
Well,
know
eat
the 10
slower?
Minutes, you know the 10 minutes we were going to give to Nerd Scene? I feel like we might have broken that limit.
Yeah. Should we go on to the next section?
Yeah, we probably should.
So we're going to talk about the autumn releases of movies and TV shows.
Autumn-winter 2019.
Thank you. And so we're going to give 3 each that we're really looking forward to. And we haven't told each other yet.
No, we haven't.
But there will be some crossover.
Oh,
Do you think there will be?
Someone spoiled something. Haven't they?
You
Joker.
You're the Joker.
Joker.
Well, I'm going to be a joke as well because I've got 4. So
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that if we all had the same one, I've got 4 as well.
can I say my first one out quick because it's my 4th one and it's a cheat.
Go on then.
It's Ad Astra because it's out next week.
That's a cheat.
That's not a cheat. That's fine.
I cannot wait for this movie.
The trailer makes it look epic.
it's ticking all my boxes. Brad Pitt at the minute is on riding high. I mean, he's a great actor anyway. It's sci-fi. It's Tommy Lee Jones. It's mysterious. It's shot like Moon. You know, that sort of. It's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Oh, it's just wonderful. The trailers look wonderful.
It gives it a bloody good chance of being awesome.
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it and then just be massively disappointed.
Oh, you will be 100% deflated. In fact, you probably will just like you'll get out of the cinema just like ripping chairs out.
Yeah.
This was.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm a bit meh.
No, you're not.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this looks good," and now I'm closer to it. I'm not so sure.
I genuinely don't believe you.
Dunno.
Because you've got good taste.
Thanks.
Do you know what
So
fun
I'm
is?
probably right. Yeah.
You know that feeling when like new carpet that's really thick, and you like run your fingers into it or run your toes into it. That real feeling of just like, oh,
I like
that's
lying on new
nice.
carpet when
you know
it's
what I
really
mean?
thick.
Do you know that feeling?
What? Sure.
That's how I feel when I watch this trailer. I'm like, yes, that's sci-fi done right.
That's like a cat walking.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. I'm
are
being
you
like a cat.
stretching
I
stuff
just
up? I hope you don't start like
so
start licking
weird.
your ass.
yeah. That's how I feel about this trailer. I'm like, this is just right, you know?
Okay, so that's your
It's my cheat
fourth
fourth
one.
Yeah.
We've got to do JB's
No,
cheat
you
fourth
don't need
one
to.
now.
No. I'm going to put it on the back. I'm going to just keep it in the back burner.
So do you want to then actually start with your first real
Yeah.
one?
I'll do the one that we're all going to have a crossover on. It's Mandalorian.
No, don't have it.
No, I don't either.
What?
Oh, look at you!
Whoa.
But can I tell you why I don't have it?
Boom, 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 boom.
I'll tell you why. I wrote down the title,
Yeah.
and then I deleted it. And do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm not going to have the opportunity to watch this on TV in the format that it is intended to be watched in, because I'm not getting it in November when D23, when Disney Plus release it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it though.
I'm going to watch it,
Yes,
but I'm not going to on this list because I'm disappointed that I'm not going to have it in the format it's intended to be watched in.
Oh my God!
Yes, I know. I
You
am
are
that
taking a
ignorant about it.
moral stand.
He's never done this before.
That's right.
Is this because we got some new listeners and he wants to put in a
probably.
good impression? Yeah, honestly, he's a knob.
Listen, I'm going to watch it, and I'm looking forward to watching it. But I'm so disappointed that I'm not getting Disney Plus when everyone else is getting it. That it's pissed me off.
Well,
Fine, okay.
I mean,
Look at your body language; it's horrendous.
we had all said this looks interesting, and then we saw the trailer last week or the week before, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
It does look chef's kiss.
And obviously, it's not connected to the show, but that artwork that you.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing as well.
So it's
Check out our Instagram if you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
Star Wars. It's a high quality movie, high quality TV show. Looks really looks expensive. Therefore, looks quality.
It's a western.
It's
a gunslinging
it's
thing.
Pedro Pascal is in it.
Yeah,
and some
yeah.
other famous people. It just looks great.
There's nothing bad to say about it.
Absolutely.
Fact?
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. James.
Oh, are you going one each?
Yeah.
Don't you just want to run through your list?
No, I want to go one each.
Okay, well then we'll take mine off the Joker.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one to take away all the things that we've heard about it to now, and when we saw that first trailer, we were all a bit like meh. We weren't too sure about it. Then we had another trailer, and it was like, oh, that's quite interesting. And I think now that it's getting all of this critical acclaim, I think it's boosting it up, and I wanted to go and see it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I know we've talked about origin movies before, and they're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be a bit cack. They're not great. This just looks awesome, and Joaquin Phoenix looks. I mean, if there's anyone that's going to pick up the Joker mantle after Heath Ledger, he would be, for me, top of the list.
Yeah.
He plays these types of characters amazingly well.
Yeah.
Haunted, broken.
Yeah, all of that. So I mean,
damaged,
I get the feeling that he would be just being the Joker character for 24 hours a day, just to make sure that he was ready for a 5-minute scene the next day. You know what I mean?
So you think he stayed in character the entire time?
Maybe. I just think he's so quirky in that way.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to predict that this could do really well in the Oscars.
Yeah.
And it might even be like the first. I may be wrong in my statement here, but best actor type of role.
Sure.
Maybe.
It would be the first time a comic book movie would win Best Actor. The Best Supporting Actor has gone to Heath Ledger as a Joker before.
Oh, has it really?
But and some comic movies have won like music or
No,
editing
but-
or sci-fi. But you're talking about the big three,
I'm
right?
talking
you're
about,
director,
picture, director,
actor,
or
main
actress,
actor. Yeah,
obviously.
exactly,
So, the big ones.
Yeah.
The big ones. I mean, they've obviously been recognised for various different things, special effects, but this... Yeah, this could be cool. I think it's going to scare me a little bit.
Yeah,
actually.
I think it will.
Because clowns are just messy anyway.
They are. You talking about it reminds me of Walk the Line. That's such a great movie.
Yes,
and he is so good in it.
It's Johnny Cash, just like wow.
Yeah, he. I mean, obviously we know Johnny Cash, but he just you watch him just go. It just feels like there's Johnny Cash on the screen, not whacking things.
Again, a character who was damaged,
troubled,
broken, haunted. Yeah, he seems to have got that character down. You've seen the film, is it The Master?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
He plays an incredibly intense character in that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's Help Me, the director of The Master.
Yes. Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes.
Or PT. It's one of those ones.
Yes. Who did like There'll Be Blood and Gangs of New York was...
Martin Scorsese.
Thank you.
Well done.
We're getting into a little whirlpool.
So much rope here.
You are, yeah. Anyway,
but
he picks these movies. Picks these movies that allows him to really just let loose with that character. So I can see why you would put that on there, JB.
Yep, absolutely.
Ben, what's your first one?
My first one's probably a little bit out of left field, and you probably wouldn't have thought that I would get this. I would bring this to the table, but I'm going to go with Knives Out. You've seen the trailer for this film.
Yeah, it's Rian Johnson.
It's written and directed by Rian Johnson. It's a whodunit murder mystery sort of thing where a little bit like Succession, there's a great big family patriarch who is found dead, and then some detective people turn up, led by Daniel freaking Craig, to investigate. It just looks great. It just looks like a lot of fun and an interesting film that is... that would appeal to me. I like... yes, James, you put your hand up.
I just want to know, is this like a film version of Cluedo?
It looks a little bit like that,
yes.
Which is one of the reasons why I like it. So I like Cluedo. I like the film Clue. Rian Johnson crafts these incredibly clever movies, and he always subverts expectations. Yep. So I don't think it's just going to be this straight whodunit murder mystery. I think there's going to be more layers to it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Chris Evans is doing some sweary, bad-mouthy.
God, the cast is incredible.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Anna de Armas, Chris Evans, Lakeith Stanfield, Daniel Craig, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, Catherine Langford, Christopher Plummer, Don Johnson, Michael Shannon.
Yeah,
come on, this looks a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it. Ooh. Of course, it could be terrible. But
let's just wait and see. When's it out, Ben? Do you know?
Apparently, it's released on the 27th of November.
Cool.
Would you like me to do my second one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
It's another TV show. This is The Witcher.
Yeah, it's in my list. It's on my list. It's on my list.
Excellent.
Second one
Good
on
man.
my list.
Apparently, there was a deleted tweet this week that may or may not have leaked when the release date is.
Which is?
Sometime in December.
It was not
or something. Or, but they deleted it. 'Cause Netflix did these days to go countdown, and someone worked out what the day it was, and then that tweet got deleted.
Oh yeah.
So they haven't announced it.
Someone got fired in the Netflix social media team, didn't they?
I think this looks brilliant. I mean, I'm playing The Witcher 3, the game, but this is based on the books. I think it's the spiritual successor to Game of Thrones. Fills that void. I am over the last 5 to 10, not quite 10 years. I've sort of started to dip my toe in fantasy, and now I'm fully fledged a fantasy, aficionado. I'm reading the Wheel of Time books now, and Robin Hobb is my favourite author. Her works are amazing. This is just right up my alley. It's just this sort of dark fantasy, medieval, I don't know, just rich series.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting you say it's a natural successor to Game of Thrones, because what I think was so good about Game of Thrones is that it was a fantasy show, but it didn't really deal in fantasy themes. It dealt in more real-world themes.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I don't have The Witcher down, because I think it's going to be more fantasy.
I'm not sure it is. I think it's going to be element. I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be the same in the way that in Game of Thrones there's no fantasy element to begin with. It's all just medieval, and then slowly it starts to creep in after the Dragon's Hatch. This will be, start on day one. Witches have these powers, and they are trained to have these powers, etc. And there are monsters that they have to kill. But I don't think it's going to be like, here's the monster this episode, and here's the monster that episode. I think there will be some quite scary witchcraft stuff going on.
Like an underlying theme all the way through, that someone's planning something big.
Like the character of Yennefer is going to be, I think, doing some mysterious stuff and controlled by, Machiavellian evil other witches. I just think it looks great. And Cavill, what can you say?
Well,
putting a lot of money into it, aren't they? Sorry, JP.
No, they are. I mean, I don't have any of the background that Nate's just mentioned about the books or anything like this, but it just looks fantastic.
Yep.
I want to see what Henry's like in this type of role, because you normally see him in clean cut type of,
I'm sorry, Henry.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Henry.
Yeah.
You're first name terms with Mr. Cavill, are you?
You guys not? Oh, sorry, my phone's on silent, but he's just calling. Hang on.
I know.
But yeah, just to see him in this type of role and how he is. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to make or break the show for me, but if it's a bit sort of like, I might not. But yeah, this looks good. This looks real good.
Because he's going to be playing sort of like what you would call like stoic, like.
He's a hunter, isn't
he? Yeah, he's quiet. He's a hunter. He's going to be mysterious.
Man of not many words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that will play.
But he's also a unit.
Yes, he is a unit. It's the biggest he's ever been.
Has he?
Yeah.
He's got a big sword on his back. He's got to carry. No wonder.
Well, that's interesting. That was a little bit of controversy because in the game series, he carries 2 swords on his back. One is a steel sword or iron sword for fighting humans, and one is a silver sword for fighting demons.
Right.
Oh.
But in the show, we've just seen him as carrying one massive sword.
Yeah, he's just got one big massive sword.
But apparently, in the books, he does keep it on his horse saddle. So maybe that's not it. Maybe they haven't twisted it completely.
Okay.
Sword controversy.
Oh, so. I didn't know there was so much controversy, but there you go.
Yeah, and Yennefer as well is like in the show. She's shown as having some sort of like she's got a jaw issue going on, and she's a bit sort of hunched over. Whereas in the game, she's like this, buxom supermodel type thing. But I think they're just trying to up the mysterious witchcrafty element.
Okay, interesting. So she might not end up like that. Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Shall I go on my next one?
Great minds.
So.
Great minds. Ben, you better have one that one of us has got.
Mine's a TV show next.
Okay.
Cool.
Watchmen.
Hey, this was nearly on my list.
So
yeah, it wasn't going to be on my list, but I thought one of you dickheads were going to have it, so I thought I was going to go something different.
So this is my replacement for The Mandalorian, because I wrote The Mandalorian, I was like, no, I'm not putting The Mandalorian because of reasons I've given. So I've gone with Watchmen, and it's because the Watchmen book is one of, if not the greatest comic books that has ever been released. I really like the movie version of it as well, and this is a sequel of sorts to either one or the other or both in its own way. And I love that I don't know. I love the cast, because have you seen who's in this show?
Yeah.
Regina King, Tim Blake Nelson, who was going to be the leader in the Incredible Hulk film.
Using Oh Brother We're Out There, things like that.
I think so, yeah, sure. Don Johnson again, Louis Gossett Jr., Jeremy Irons as Ozymandias.
Yeah, I mean, the clip that you sent to us earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Because I was nervous about this show.
That was that behind the scenes thing, wasn't it?
Because
footage came out.
I'd obviously seen the film, but some of it I didn't quite get and catch. But apparently, this show you don't need to know any of the background.
No.
And
fill you
that
in.
clip was going to be on my list because of that clip.
It's just this little zinger of what the plot is. So set in alternate history where mass vigilantes are treated as outlaws, Watchmen embraces the nostalgia of the original groundbreaking graphic novel of the same name while attempting to break new ground of its own. What happens when masked Avengers rise again? Come on.
You're
Does it
nearly
not
on
just
this.
get your juices going?
It does.
And
It does.
That clip you're talking about, that featurette, was designed for that very purpose.
Of course it was.
It's for people who are like, I'm not sure about the show, don't really know what it is. Well, let's release a 3-minute. It's not quite a trailer. It's a little bit of a tease.
Well, I mean, because if you look at the trailer, you just see basically police in masks, police officers in masks, and it's kind of a little bit, well, what is this? Is this, what sort of time is this set in? It doesn't feel right, okay.
Well, let me give you an idea of what I think the plot of this is, okay? So it's set what is it, like 20 years or 30 years, I think, possibly after the events of the comic book.
Yeah, which are in the 80s.
Yes. They either know or don't know that Ozymandias was involved in that. Robert Redford is in it as the president, played by Robert Redford, which I think is just
It's wonderful.
so on the nose, it's unreal. I think, according to some of the trailers and some of that footage that we saw last week, this could be spoilers, so skip forward a minute if you don't want to know. A load of police officers get attacked by vigilantes in their own homes. So the police start wearing masks.
Yeah.
So then everyone starts wearing masks again. And that could be a conspiracy, that the police were attacked.
I see, right.
Because
Okay.
mass vigilantes want to come back to help the police out. So they could have orchestrated that to happen to bring themselves back.
Which is very
in itself
Watchmen.
is a very insidious, nasty
Yeah,
plot.
wheels within wheels, right? Yeah.
That's what Watchmen is.
Yeah,
It's wheels within wheels. It's plots within plots. I love it. I cannot wait to watch it. It's out October, November time. It's going to be HBO in America. Hopefully, it's Sky Atlantic over here.
Yeah, it will be, I would imagine.
This
100%.
could be, if done right, could be the best thing, the biggest thing that HBO have ever done, bigger than Game of Thrones. If done right.
Bold statement.
Damn right, it's a bold statement.
That is bold.
Damn right, it's bold.
Proper bold.
I'm not saying it will be. I'm saying it could be.
It's interesting, isn't it? That I remember when this was announced, I remember thinking, like, really? You got a TV show on Watchmen? Really? Have we
I
just
remember
had
being
that?
very worried about it as well.
And it makes me think about like the Lord of the Rings TV show that's been announced. Because that's all very much like, what is this going to be? And we know that now that there are like set time periods they're not allowed to do.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to like retell any story. They're not allowed to retcon any story. So it's like, okay, it's got to fit into this gap.
Mm-hmm.
But having seen how awesome the Watchmen TV show looks like it's going to be, it makes me feel comfortable about things like the Lord of the Rings TV show. You know?
Yeah. Because I think it's being made by fans of the original source material, so they'll just go, well, we can
Honour
pay
it.
homage to this and honour it, but we have to do our own thing, but be respectful to what's come before.
Yep.
I'm all about it. The last thing, I'm fairly confident we'll all have the same thing. Go ahead, Nate.
Oh.
Is it the movie Rise of Skywalker?
Nope.
It is for me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that what you got as well?
Yes, it is. Yeah, because what?
Well, hang on. What's JB got?
Well,
Should we do the Rise of Skywalker?
let's do Rise of Skywalker.
Let's do Rise of Skywalker. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it comes out on my birthday. Yay!
That means it's going to be crap.
Yeah. And more Kylo Ren, please, because I love him. He's great. He's one of the best. And yeah, what else can you say? I mean, it just looks fantastic. It's more Star Wars stuff.
It's the end of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I know, but that's not necessarily important to me because Mandalorian's coming out, and I loved Rebels and Rogue One, which I've got problems with, but it's still fun. Isn't about Skywalker stuff, and Han Solo. I really enjoyed Solo, and that's not about. So for me, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, cool. You're going to end that story. I don't believe it's in the Skywalker saga. In 10 years' time.
I disagree. I think they are full stopping it. That's it. Done.
10 years' time, they'll be like, you know what was really good?
A prequel to a prequel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Well, apparently it is the ending of the ancient conflict between Jedi and Sith.
yeah, but you wait till someone takes over from Kathleen Kennedy and wants to go. Do you know what we should do? We should do the.
Or will there be a remake
yeah.
of it, won't there?
Yeah,
There's always going to be a remake of something in somewhere. I mean, I just want to pick. I mean, in terms of the trailers, you said it looks amazing. There, we've only had. Is it just one trailer?
One teaser, yeah.
One teaser, but teaser.
Yeah.
One teaser and a little bit of that footage they released at D23.
Yes.
was
Yeah,
nothing.
but the most of the trailer was showing the story up to.
Yeah.
So there is some. I would like to see another track. I think it's going to be epic. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go and see it. I'm going to love it.
One coming in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Is
it says,
there?
yeah.
I predict it lands today.
Right.
I
Yeah,
predict
because we're podcasting. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that normally
we'll go
happens.
back to work and it will drop.
Yeah, for anyone that hasn't listened before, that is our curse, is that we do broken news and then the moment we get back to the office, there's a new trailer for something.
Which is great for everyone.
Yeah.
Because you need to listen to our pods more, and then something else cool will come
Yeah.
out afterwards.
Doesn't Luke from the Geeks Talkers Doesn't he say that to us? Like, can you guys record a podcast today? Because
Yeah,
I really
we've
want
had
a new
that
trailer out. So, JB, what's your last one?
My last one is His Dark Materials.
This was nearly on mine as well.
I didn't particularly like the film.
I don't think anyone did.
No, but because of the film, made me think about the books, and then I thought I'm going to read the books, and I read all of the books and thought they were brilliant. I'm not normally, I'm not a massive reader, but I do. When I pick up a book, it's a bit like when I'm watching TV. Really, I'll just crash right through it.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is going to cover all of the books,
Yes.
as the trilogy. I like the fact that there's some cool people in there.
Yeah. It looks great.
It does look great, and so
They-
it's actually going to be on BBC One.
Do you know they announced the date?
Yes, is it the third?
4th of November? 3rd, 4th.
Something like that.
Early November.
But again, as Ben's already mentioned, this has got autumn, winter type of.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a hot chocolate, maybe an Ovaltine. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Snuggle down and watch
Yeah,
His Dark
just get a
Materials.
snuggle rug on.
Yeah.
You know, have the slippers on.
It's
boom.
even got that look about it, hasn't it?
Yeah. But this, I think because it's done with HBO are obviously involved in it, so they're going to be able to bankroll it. Because some of the things that I think the BBC do by themselves, when you've had the sort of taste of what like HBO can do and how much money they throw at it, BBC don't have that much money, and they try to produce something, and it just doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
And you feel like, I don't know, I'm cheating myself a bit. I'm going to watch something else that's got add loads of money chucked in it. I just think this will be great. I think this will be really great.
Is it just BBC on its own?
I think so. It's being shown in the UK on BBC, and then it's in America. It's HBO.
Ah, right, okay.
I believe.
So it's a co-production between BBC and HBO.
Yeah, it is, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what, that means I'm a little bit more hyped for it because you know what BBC and HBO produced before? Band of Brothers. This is one of the greatest miniseries of all time.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't know that.
Did you not know that? That's
Mate, thank you for
HBO.
That'll be in a pub
and
quiz.
BBC
I'll remember that.
production.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go. We've done
Very
it.
good, yeah.
So let's just very quickly go over what were your three.
Ad Astra,
That's it.
Mandalorian, The Witcher, and Rise of Skywalker.
The Witcher.
I had
that was it.
Joker, Witcher, His Dark Materials.
And I had Knives Out, I had Watchmen, and I had The Rise of Skywalker.
I think that's a good summary of us.
That's a good summary of the things that we sort of like to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah. My fourth one isn't what we would normally talk about, so I'm just going to.
What is your fourth
yeah,
one?
what is
Go
it?
on.
No, basically.
Don't tell me. I know what it is.
Go on then.
I know what it is.
You would never guess it.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Unless you've seen my.
It's Celebrity Love Island.
Nope.
Oh, damn it!
It's absolutely
What is
not. It's a program called Top Boy.
Oh no, I don't know.
So back Channel 4 basically aired a series Top Boy back in 2011, and it was for me it was brilliant. It was based on in a fictional town in London where you've got your gangs and everything else like this. It ran for 2 seasons, and I thought it was brilliant. And Netflix had brought it back because Drake, the musician, was like, we need to bring this back. And so they brought some of the original actors back. I think it starts today on Netflix. And also it's something that my brother-in-law Will would absolutely love. So I thought I'd kind of put it in there for...
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
You better be listening, bruv.
I like Will now. I can't call him a dickhead on the show anymore.
He's a dickhead. So we can't call Will James's brother-in-law, the one that you don't like.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't refer to him as that.
I actually like him.
We've just got to call him Will now.
But for pretense, I'll pretend.
Still
I'll
an
pretend.
absolute dickhead.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right, well, that's the end of the show. Ben, where can people find us if they want to let us know what idiots we are?
They can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Just search for Nerds Chatting. You will find our podcast. You can listen to this podcast on iTunes and YouTube and Spotify and other areas of the internet. Podbean, of course, we're on Podbean. Nerdschatting.podbean.com. Please, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please feel free to leave us a review. That would be great. It could be whatever you want. So I worked out the other day that the reason we cannot see the 2 1-star reviews that we've had is because people have just gone 1 star and submitted it. They haven't then actually written anything. So they might be some fake reviews.
Tell us what you think. If you think it's rubbish, tell us why.
Yeah, I want to know why we're rubbish. I know why we're rubbish because we're idiots.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know what people take umbrage with when they go, oh, that's 1 star. But yeah, that's fine.
Can I do some last minute plugs, please?
Sure.
So, guest host on Date Night with Delilah podcast that I am on. We did Good Omens. It was released this week.
I like Good Omens, yeah.
It was a very long podcast. It was an hour and 40 minutes. We talked about the show, and really did sort of pick it apart in terms of its biblical references. And
Have you watched all of it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
And I had a really good time doing that podcast, so I wanted to promote it. I think people should have a listen.
Send me a link and I'll pop it in the section there.
Date Night with Delilah is the podcast. And I've been doing some Just Chatting interviews. So
Yes, you have.
we had Mark on from The Skip to the End.
And Mark and me.
Yeah, and Mark and me, sorry. And I've got another one recorded by a very lovely man called Wyatt, and I've got 2 more planned later next week.
Oh,
wow, it's all about Nate then.
it is all about Nate.
Yeah.
You got any last minute plugs? Do you want to plug anything?
When is it not all about Nate?
No, well, everyone's turned off now. It's fine, because Nate normally finishes when Ben goes to the bit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
everyone's just
yeah.
gone... Chunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine.
We want to put in a secret word to see if people are listening now.
Bob.
There you go. If you're listening, just message us, Bob. Right. Thanks very much for listening, everybody. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with something else interesting to talk about that we don't know yet.
Yes, we will. Thanks
Yep.
for tuning in, everyone. Bye.
Bye.